Welcome back, bros, to another video review. It's today I have the opportunity to take a look at another World Wrestling Federation action figure or wrestling figure by Jakks Pacific. And today I have the opportunity to take a look at the WrestleMania 17 Rebellion Series Chris Jericho. So as for the contents inside of this packaging, we get Chris Jericho, the figure himself, in his street attire gear. And then it also comes with one accessory, which is the WWF microphone. And then standard to all Jakks Pacific wrestling figures, you get the WWF, for this one, you get the Attitude Points catalog, where it shows all the characters or wrestling figures that they've already released. And it's a promotion to have you try to collect all of them. In addition to that, on the back of the packaging, you get right here the Attitude Points. Unfortunately, right here, as a kid, I missed out on a huge opportunity to get a free Kurt Angle or a free Lita WWF Diva figure because I didn't collect those points. I just threw the box away, and that Attitude catalog, just looked at it to see who was coming or what they had already released, and I did not think about it as a child. I'm just so happy to play with my wrestling figures. So anyway, guys, enough about that. Let's go ahead and continue the review and take a look at the details on this Chris Jericho figure. So here we are, guys, zoomed in and take a closer look at this figure for the details for what Jakks Pacific has given us on this Chris Jericho personification for a toy. Now, looking at this figure right off the bat, I'm going to say this face and head sculpt does resemble Chris Jericho. Now, this is the way Jakks Pacific made the figures early on. This is a Jakks Pacific 2000 release figure, or at least manufactured, because this is under the WrestleMania 17 Rebellion Series line. This is definitely after Raw Heat, WrestleMania 2000, SmackDown. So this is more the newer of that year. Now, looking at the details of the body of Chris Jericho, as we already know, when Chris Jericho appeared in WWE, he was not as ripped as we see this toy is. This is just a regular base model for shirtless wrestlers like Edge, I would say Jericho, I would say like the Too Cool, Scotty Too Hottie, and stuff and other actors. Well, I keep saying actors, but yes, they are actors, but other wrestlers like that during that time. That's how they depicted them, shirtless. So, with that being said, guys, I don't have any issues. The shirt jacket looks cool. It definitely looks shiny. I like the way it turned out. They painted the shoulders with this silver paint to replicate the shirt. They gave Chris Jericho the wristbands, and then they gave him the red pants with the black slacks and the belt. I don't have any issues with that. The belt looks pretty good. Even though it's so small, they put in as many belt details as they could with this figure. And as you know, with this being a 2000 release figure, it is also Titantron ready. So yes, guys. Yes, I like the details on this figure. I think they did a very good job. And it definitely resembles Chris Jericho, as you can see with the pictures of Chris Jericho I had up throughout this segment. So yes, let's go ahead and continue the video review and check out the articulation for this figure. So as for the articulation on this figure, it is pretty much the same as what we get with all figures coming out in this wave or this wrestling series, basically, which is a figure that I reviewed already, and that was the Road Dogg figure. If you already watched my review, it's from that same line. So let's go and check it out. Basically, the head, it looks left, and it also looks right. With that being said, it is very tight. I did buy this figure brand new from a local toy shop in my area. And yes, because it's 20 years old, I'm surprised that it's very, very tight joints. So as you see right there, the elbow does bend 90 degrees. The wrist is tight, but it does swivel, as you can see, all the way around a full 360. The shoulder on Chris Jericho swivels a full 360, as you can see. It goes out this far. It goes up that high. It also comes down, so it does have a joint in there. We do have a waist swivel, as you can see right there. Now, with these figures being this old, I'm not sure how good they're going to kick, but with this, it's a brand new figure, so I'm pretty sure you guys hear me warming up the plastic. Jericho can kick this high. His knee can bend 90 degrees, as you can see. His foot doesn't have a lot of articulation, but it does have some. You have to get this joint right here or this peg warmed up. It pivots a little bit, but not much. So that is because the stiffness, but here we go. So yeah, it pivots down and then it pivots up to normal position. Other than that, that is pretty much all the articulation we get with this figure. So let's go ahead and check out what this figure came with, whatever accessory, and take a closer look at that. So this figure came with one accessory, and the accessory that it came with right here, I hope you can see it, it's going to be the WWF microphone. Now, I'm going to be honest, I did not buy this Chris Jericho for a WWF microphone because I already have that with one of the previous figures that it came with. Like I said, I feel like when you give a character or a wrestler in a toy a microphone, I feel like they should get more than just a microphone. But this is the only thing that he came with, so I'm kind of bummed out with that. That is a important accessory, I would say, but with it being the tiniest, I feel like they could have gave him at least a water bottle to go with it, or something else smaller that he can hold along with that microphone. But don't get me wrong, it does look good in his hand, and I do like the way they made it. Yes, it does look very, very small in his hand, so I kind of wish it had the little microphone stuffing on top of it to give it that bigger appearance. But all in all, as you see, it fits in his hand. I mean, he holds it very tightly. You can have him act as if he's talking in it. That's totally up to you. It does have the WWF logo, very visible. So I do like that. But like I said, I do think these smaller accessories, when they come with the figures, are a little weaker because these same figures come with tables, chairs, ladders, trash cans, um, dressers, suitcases, bigger accessories that, you want to accessorize maybe your hardcore matches, if you decide to make some of those. But all in all, I appreciate the microphone that comes with them because now that gives me a few more microphones to use throughout whatever I want to do when displaying my wrestlers. So now it's time for comparisons. And to start off my comparison segment, here I have two Chris Jericho figures before you. Now, the Chris Jericho figure on the right, as you know, if you've seen on throughout my channel, this is a Chris Jericho that I kept as a child when wrestling was out and I enjoyed it. So this is a figure I did not repurchase. This is one I had as a child when I bought it. It was a SmackDown figure, and I don't know where the accessory was. The accessory that came with it was the broken speed limit sign of 25 miles per hour. I don't know where that is. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's probably lost when I moved, got grown, whatever. But anyway, that's that Chris Jericho. And here we have the new Chris Jericho, in which I'm reviewing, which is the WrestleMania 17 Rebellion Series Chris Jericho in the street attire. As you can see, these figures are identical in the head sculpt. Um, just looking at the two figures, it looks like they're exactly the same head sculpt, except one might be painted a little bit better in the eyes, and the other one might be painted a little bit better in the mustache. The hair is exactly the same, except the hair on the newer version kind of resembles more with the little extra bits that they painted in there to give it the hue of hair. It might be a little bit better than what the original is. Excuse me, sorry about that, guys. Um, So, looking at the upper torso region of both figures, you can see they're exactly the same, except for the forearms on the new one having the bands, the wristbands, and the forearms on the other one having nothing. They got the same hands, except for one's open and one's a closed fist. Same feet and legs built, I guess you could say. As you know, like I said, I don't want to spend so much time on that, but yes, the boots are different right here. These are more boots that look like shoes you wear to church, while these, of course, are your wrestling boots. So pretty much they're the same height. They got the same facial expression, as you can see. Nothing's really different about them. Like I said, there's just a little bit subtle differences in the hair. Other than that, it's pretty much the same figure, just in a different outfit. It's what you get normally with all your wrestling figures made by Jakks Pacific in this time period. Next, here we are taking a look at the Chris Jericho figure with other figures in my collection that I may have recently reviewed. I don't know if you checked out, but these are some of the ones I just recently reviewed on my channel, so feel free to check them out when you get a chance. We have the Raw Heat Mankind figure. We have the SmackDown Big Show figure. We have the WrestleMania 17 Road Dogg figure. And we also have the WrestleMania 2000 Bad A Billy Gunn figure, just for comparisons to show you with other wrestling figures for the Jakks Pacific 1999 to like 2002 era that I have so far. Lastly, for comparisons, here we have Chris Jericho with some other figures that are made by different toy companies. As you can see right here, I have the NECA 1990s Donatello as reference for a stand-in for Ninja Turtles. I have the Marvel Legends Hasbro figure Miles Morales from the Spider-Man Gameverse Series 1. Then we have the Jakks Pacific movie Sonic figure. And then we have the Hasbro Transformers um, Legacy United Tiger Hawk. So as you see right here, these are just random figures I pulled off my shelf just to show you how this figure scales and sizes it up with other toys that you may have in your collection for just scale purposes. So bros, before I bring this video review to a close, I had to break out the WWE Trash Talking stage because this figure is Titantron ready, as you can see with the chips at the bottom of his foot. Basically, you take the figure and what you do is you put him on this grate.
The Rock says he's going to lay the smack down, and there's two things you can do about it. Absolutely nothing, and like it.
And that's what he's not supposed to say, because he's supposed to activate the Chris Jericho feature.
I have come to save the World Wrestling Federation from the boring depths to which it has sunk.
And just like that, he is Titantron ready and Trash Talking stage ready. So this is a cool reason to pick up this figure, especially if you have this accessory to accessorize your WWF wrestling figures. So now it's time for the Yeah Bro figure pickup or pass grading system, where I get to share my opinions and thoughts on this recent figure in which I picked up and just reviewed before you in efforts to share you the good parts of this figure and also the bad parts of this figure. And definitely, if you need help picking up this figure, I am here to persuade you. And then if you want to be deterred, I am here to deter you from picking up this figure. But totally, it is ultimately up to you. So, bros, as for me, guys, as you know, this is a definite pickup in my book because I am a fan of the WWE Attitude Era. And yes, Chris Jericho is a part of that WWF Attitude Era. For this figure to be in his street gear is a bonus for me, and it was a fairly decent price. Now, I already have a Chris Jericho figure. I am a Chris Jericho holic, as one would say. I am a fan. He was my favorite wrestler growing up as a kid. So I have quite a few Chris Jericho wrestling figures. Now, this will be my first Chris Jericho wrestling figure in his street gear attire. And I think this is actually represented very well in this toy. The articulation on it is standard to what we've gotten with all figures from the Jakks Pacific from this toy line. Once you got past the 1999 earlier models of wrestling figures, where they're able to have joints in their elbows, which definitely allow for more articulation that you would want in a wrestling figure toy. Comes with a ton of playability, as you see right here. Chris Jericho scales nicely in a wrestling ring. Yes, this is not the WWF wrestling ring, but this is a wrestling ring, which is actually the AEW because Chris Jericho is currently in the AEW Wrestling League right now. But just showing you how he scales inside the ring, he actually works very well. With the accessory he comes with, it adds a ton of playability because he could be anywhere in the WWF universe with that microphone, speaking his mind and talking trash to whoever he may face in his next wrestling match. So, yes, guys, for me, it's definitely a pickup in my book. I end up getting it from my local toy store, guys. So, yes, if you see it and you want some of the older wrestling figures, they're actually pretty solid and they are very durable and they're actually decent representations with early technology for making these wrestling figures that we currently love and enjoy watching on TV. So if you're interested where I picked up this figure, I picked this up, guys, from my local toy store shop in my local area called Toy Meister, where I paid a little less than I want to say I paid under $20 for this figure, which is not bad for it being a 20 year old figure. I think I paid about maybe like 15, 14, somewhere around there. But like I said, guys, for me, it was justified for me to pick up because I'm a Chris Jericho fan. So if you're interested in picking up this figure, guys, unfortunately, you're going to have to resort to online third party websites like eBay, Macari, and other stores just like that to find these more harder to find wrestling figures because these, like I said, are over 20 years old, guys. So you won't be able to find these unless you're going to like your local comic book and toy shops or online retailers. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching my review. As always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. By doing these four actions, it shows my channel a tremendous amount of support, and not only that, positive feedback as a YouTube content creator. Thank you once again for watching my video review, and until next time, yeah, bro. I'll see you soon. And wait, guys, don't forget to turn on your notification bells because it definitely notifies you in your spare time when we're busy doing other things at your earliest convenience and reminds you that Yeah Bro Production or Yeah Bro Entertainment LLC has uploaded new content for you to check out whenever you get free. Thank you once again.